Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Leadership Void podcast. I'm Enrique and Vince, my co-host. Today we have a special guest from North, right? We've been doing this national tour for a while now, and we back to the Virginia area. But I'll let Vince introduce.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely excited. We have Natalie Oliverio from West Virginia. She's in Morgantown. And guess what she does? She actually is a CEO and founder of Military Talent Partners. And we're just so excited to have you here, Natalie. Just tell us first a little bit about you.
Hey, Enrique. Hey, Vince. Thanks so much for having me today. I am Natalie Oliverio. Military Talent Partners is a very special organization that I began in 2018, where we partner with companies to help them hire veterans and military spouses. And by partnering with them, we ensure that our candidates are getting meaningful careers, finding their purpose, and fueling their future. So 50% of our revenue is actually dedicated to keeping our services of mentorship and career transition coaching free because we believe pairing the power of mentorship with pairing opportunities and people is the right way to do it. And we just love what we do. I myself am a Navy veteran and spent about a little over a decade in corporate recruitment before launching MTP. And July 1st, we will be 3 years old.
That's amazing. And congratulations, because I remember when you started. That was amazing. You had just launched. We met in Orlando at the MIC that year. You had just gone out, and look at you today. So proud of my fellow Navy vet doing great things in the, talent and procurement of people area, because this is a very critical time, especially what we've been through this last year. And so I know your services are needed. So tell me a little more about Military Partners.
Yeah, absolutely. At Military Talent Partners, we believe that understanding your goals, your purpose, and your career focus is super important. Too often, we're just going through the motions. We're transitioning from the military, or we're underemployed, or unhappy, or undervalued, whatever the case may be, and we're not living to our potential. That's really the catalyst for what we do. We want to help high performing veterans and resilient, incredible military spouses meet their potential and find their purpose in a meaningful career. So many companies across the country want to diversify and grow with military talent, but maybe they don't know how. Maybe they don't know where to start. And there's a lot of alternatives out there. There's a lot of AI powered softwares that can maybe match for you, but we're very people focused and people powered. We're really centered around the human touch of recruiting, relationship driven, understanding the goals and priorities of individuals, and helping to bridge the gap between corporate culture and military veteran culture to find the right place for these high potential people.
No, absolutely. Bridging the gap is so important because a lot of us leave the military is like, okay, now what do I do? And you are literally the beacon of light and hope for a lot of us. So thank you for what you're doing. That's amazing. So tell me a little bit about MTP. How you currently holding up, and what you doing in this pandemic? How do you dealing with this?
Yeah, I mean, last year was really tough for everyone. And I think it kind of leveled the playing field when it comes to the virtual world and running a remote company. For us, we were already remote. Our team is located nationwide. They all work remotely from wherever they are. So we had that comfortability going into it. It was really pivoting to understand how to meet the needs of our current customers and our future customers, which are the businesses that we partner with. So we are above and beyond a typical recruiting firm or recruiting agency. We offer talent acquisition, consulting, workforce development, and diversity and inclusion strategy so that we're able to diversify our portfolio of services for the clients that we take on, knowing that we only represent the best of the best. We don't represent just any position at just any company. We only take on meaningful career opportunities. And what that means is it has to be meaningful enough that one of us on the team would take it, that we could see ourselves being happy in a role like this, as far as trajectory for future growth, salary and compensation, benefits, and your overall work culture and environment. All of those boxes have to be checked in order to work with military talent partners. We're not for everyone, and everyone is not for us, and that's okay. We're not an off-the-shelf big box store solution. We're very consultative and very customized in our approach, because every candidate, every veteran, every spouse that we work with are unique. They're individuals. And the industries that we cover are really, really every industry, because just like the military, it has every industry, every trade you can think of, because it needs every different level of professional to run like a successful organization. So bridging the awareness gap for a lot of corporate employers that maybe don't understand how veterans fit into their organization, while also giving them the knowledge and the tools and the resources with our team to help make that happen.
And you're definitely making it happen, because I've seen you guys grow and add jobs. It's been wonderful to look at you guys' trajectory and your growth and see it actually, come to pass. So tell me a little bit about what's in the future, what the future holds for MTP.
That's a great question. July 1st being our third anniversary, our third birthday, we're almost at 1,000 veterans and spouses hired. And, 3 years ago when we met, I could have never dreamed that we would be able to match that many people into meaningful long-term careers. It's so amazing to be a little tiny part of their journey. So we hope to hire thousands more. When it comes to mentorship and career coaching, we've mentored over 4,000 veterans and spouses, and spending time helping others recognize their potential, elevating their potential to meet their goals and find the right fit is an honor. It is an honor. And we love to inspire companies all across the US to not just thank veterans and spouses for their service, but to honor their futures with meaningful careers.
I definitely see MTP in the forefront in the nation at military bases. So I hope that's out there. I'm going to put it out in the universe for you to be in the horizon when we hit the next 3 or 4 year mark. So kudos to you all, what you are doing for the value that we bring, not only veterans and also the military spouses, because they also serve for everything. So thank you for that. And let's transition a little bit about leadership, because obviously this woman right here has some dynamic skills and doing some great things, hosting, being the founder and CEO. So let's talk about your professional development first. What areas do you work on to improve your capabilities as a leader?
I think that I am the kind of person that really learns from others, learns from the inspiration, the energy that I get from other people. I wouldn't classify myself as a typical classroom style learner. And so I invest a lot of time in the people that I admire and respect. And these are the people that help move me forward, that help me have those light bulb moments to learn how to do something better, or how to dig deeper, or how to upskill, or how to think in a different way that maybe I hadn't before. And I am only comforted in something that my mentor told me. And he said, because we were talking about years past, I said, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I used to use this as a deck. And he said, you know what, if you look back on what you did 9 months, a year ago, and you don't cringe, you're not growing enough. And I'm like, well, I cringe every day, so I must be growing fast as hell. And so I'm just going to keep going. And it's cringy and it's uncomfortable. Sometimes my cheeks get red and my face gets hot, but I know that it's in the right direction. So I'm okay with it.
I love that because it truly is a sign of growth when you can look back and say, whoa, a lot of us, undoubtedly can look at our fashion a couple of years ago and say, what in the world were you thinking
Right.
wearing that? Right. And so in business, it's similar. And as you grow in your company, you should look at stuff like this. Like, yeah, I'm way farther than I was that, and which equates to the growth. So, as we're talking leadership, there are a lot of people out there probably thinking, man, I want my own company one day. Man, I want to run my own thing one day. I want to be a leader of these many people. And so, we refer to them as emerging leaders. And what would you tell those emerging leaders of something that maybe someone told you growing up that is really stuck and has come and proven right?
A couple things are coming to my mind, and the number one is that there is no finish line. You didn't come this far to only come this far. And the real hallmark of a strong leader is creating other leaders around you and helping other people up. Bringing other people up is the goal. It's serving people, not managing or not directing or not being in charge of people. So I think the word leadership has really evolved to mean something much deeper, much better than it has in the past, because leading others is about serving others. And I think that is the most important thing. Leading with your values, leading with what's important to you is really, really critical. But also, I wanted to mention, I cannot tell you how many conversations I have with service members who are still on active duty, maybe facing an upcoming transition or considering a future transition. And when I ask them, what's next for you? What do you want to do? So many of them will say, oh, I want to be a leader. I want to lead people. I want to lead a team. I'm great at leading teams. But leader is not a job. It's something that comes with the job. So understanding, how will you lead? Who will you impact? What's your team do? What piece do you play in this bigger puzzle? Because what's technically leadership in the military and the chain of command and the reporting structure and the ranks, those are not in existence in the corporate world. And so understanding how that translates, and what are your real goals as a leader? What will you do functionally as a leader? Instead of saying, I'm going to lead, I want to lead a team, I can manage people. These are not things that actually are tangible when you transition.
That's so important what you just said, because it's true. We want to come out. We've commanded, we led battalions, hundreds, millions, thousands, and we equate that as we want to do the same. But to your what you do is finding your purpose and understanding what that is, because it is part of leadership. It's holistic. So there's a lot of understanding those cringing moments and how they make the growth happen today. And there's within all this, there's challenges, right? And that's what we're going to now, is just finding out how you yourself, Natalie, handle challenges either you face or currently facing.
You have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to embrace failure if you're going to successfully get through a challenge. And I think it was Albert Einstein that said you have to, fail a million times before you come with something that's the right thing, before you really win. And so it's so common and so easy to just wrap yourself up into failure and give up and not keep going, or feel so stuck with a challenge that you just can't see your way through it, almost like you can't see the forest through the trees. But if you're willing to get uncomfortable and you're willing to think about it big picture in a different way, maybe even with a different lens, by seeking out mentorship, talking to people that you trust or respect, or who maybe do something better than you do it, that can help you through whatever it is. That's what I do. If it weren't for these people around me, my mentors, my friends, my trusted advisors, I would be lost. It's easy to look at someone and think they have it all together. They know what they're doing. They're super successful. These are all things that are appearances, that are perceptions. Most people would have no idea that I have my own, mental health struggles of depression and anxiety. Most people would have no idea that, there have been days where I've cried myself to sleep on the couch at noon because the day was that bad. But that's because that's not what we want people to see. We want people to see that we get through these struggles, we get through these challenges, but normalizing it and understanding the human perspective that no one is better than anyone else. Everyone has their own struggle and challenge. And it's the fortitude and the strength and the bravery to get through it that really, really counts. Talking to someone, especially a mentor, is my number one way to climb out of whatever hole I may be in, and understanding that failing is on the road to succeeding and winning.
So powerful, such a powerful statement. And thank you for sharing personal stuff because, it's true. There's a lot of perception. There's a lot of things that you see, snapshots in our lives, and you think that, hey, that's it. That's how their life is all the time. And, so challenges is one thing. And undoubtedly this year and the last year and a half have done nothing but present to us nothing but opportunities for change. And so change is hard, right? So how do you, and it requires strategy. So what strategies do you put into place when you're faced with change?
It's funny because I have historically just been so averse to change, like resistant. I don't know if it's like my old school upbringing or what it is that like planted in my brain. Like I'm resistant to change. But somewhere along the line, a flip switched for sure, because understanding that change is okay, change leads to growth, and change leads to creation and innovation and the future of you. You're not gonna, when you start to realize how you've personally changed, you become more comfortable with it, and how your goals change, because what you want today could be completely different a year from now or 5 years from now, and that's okay too. Change is not a bad thing, and I think embracing that belief is a power move.
Totally understand. Change is inevitable, but growth is optional. I think one of James Maxwell said that, and that's pivotal. That's huge. And know thyself. I think you really hit on understanding who you are as a person, and understand be uncomfortable is just a good thing. So normalizing that, we appreciate that, Natalie. And for those who are listening in, how do they get a hold of you or military talent partners?
Sure. We are available to anyone, anywhere. We're very responsive. And as a matter of fact, anyone who reaches out on our website gets a personal note back from me. So militarytalentpartners.com, Natalie at militarytalentpartners.com. You can find us on all the social channels, especially LinkedIn and Instagram. That's probably where we're the most active. And we are here to serve. We're a for-profit, for a purpose brand. That means we're service minded. The results and the outcome of what we do is at the heart of our business. So partnering with companies who get it, who are mission fueled and purpose driven, those are our people. Those are the companies that we want to work with, because the tens of thousands of veterans and military spouses who are putting in the work, who understand who they are and where they're going, they deserve the best of the best. And that's who we're here to work for.
That's wonderful. And thank you for sharing that. We will make sure that that's part of the video and the show notes so they can get a hold of you. That you send a personal note is even more touching, because, as you build up, that could get kind of, it be an obstacle for your daily flow. But those that do take the time, that should speak volumes to the people that are receiving those. So thank you for that. We don't hardly get any of that at the CEO level, at the leader level, hardly anymore. So I know they appreciate it. And folks, if you want to get a hold of us, if you have any leadership topics you would like for us to cover, we have another venue that Vince will bring up at the end. And we also talk about leadership, but the leadershipvoid@gmail.com is our email. Send us your requests. If you would like to see somebody specifically on our show being interviewed, we would take that as well. But for any general leadership centric I mean, you always have to put that in there. Leadership centric comments or concerns. Hey, give that to us and we will gladly reply.
And yes, and Natalie, and Military Talent Partners, getting ready to celebrate their third year, already have allocated 1,000 veterans and military spouses. Kudos to you all. Well, very much appreciate hearing your feedback, hearing your advice. And what Enrique mentioned was the two things we also do. We also have a separate show called Radio Check, which on the 1st and the 15th at 1900, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we reach out. We just reach out to do a buddy check. So if anyone out there just wants, and this is Military Mental Health Awareness Month, we do this every 1st and the 15th, like a paycheck. We just want to check on you. You check on us. We're just here for each other. This is the tribe that we have created for you. So I hope you join us then. And we trying to reach our 200 subscriptions. And we right now are at the 140 mark. So hit our YouTube channel, check us out, hit to subscribe, and you enter to the drawing for a wonderful book by Scott McGregor, The Salute, Stand Your O. So please join on that. And lastly, next week, we're going west to Dallas, Texas, to talk with another dynamic leader. But today, we're just here humbled and honored to be with Natalie, celebrating MTP, which is Military Talent Partners. And we wish her great success in future endeavors.
Thank you both so much for having me. And thank you for having me on your show today. I really appreciate what you do and happy to be a part of it. Thank you.